7 o'clock, Denver time, Nuggets and Clippers. Let's welcome in the round mound of national television guarantees, Sir Charles Barkley himself, to the show. Chuck, thanks for a few minutes, buddy. How are you? What's that?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Getting ready to head to the golf course a little bit. So I got no
Good for you.
complaints.
How was your game?
Yeah,
nowadays?
for you.
How is your game nowadays?
I'm playing better right now. You know, it's been stuck in Atlanta this whole time. You know, normally I'm in Philly all summer and I play golf and fish every day, but I've been stuck in this damn bubble for 2 months. I will be so glad when these next 2 weeks are over. Woo.
You're in Atlanta. Hey, you buying any chicken at Lou Williams Chicken Eatery over there?
That's at a strip joint, dude. I'm too old to go to strip joint. Hey, when I was young and stupid, I went to strip joints all the time. Now I'm almost 60. You know, and there's no reason for a 60-year-old man to go to a strip joint.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah,
Moj, write that down.
Yeah, I got it. I'm on it. Yeah, I remember that.
Charles Barkley
No,
with us.
hey, there's nothing wrong with it when you're young. I used to love to do it. I mean, but at some point you got to grow up and say, listen, come on. Think about it. If I'm at a strip joint right now, the girl's going to be saying, who's the old guy in here and what is he doing here?
No, but Charles, it's the wings. Don't you know that? That's what Lou Williams said. It's just the wings there.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. He lost 2 game checks, $75,000 each. I don't care how good chicken wings are. They're not worth $150,000.
That's a good point.
Dude, hey, Chuck, I got to ask you about Lou and all those other bench players for the Clippers because you look at Game 6, Lou Williams has not produced in this series at all. Montrezl Harrell got yanked 50. What's happening?
Lou Williams has not played well at all. Not just this game. I think it's fair to say he hasn't had a good end of those little 8 games. He's been awful. And Harrell had a couple good games here or there. But, man, Lou Williams has been awful, plain and simple. I mean, that's all you can say.
You know, and something I was thinking about, the Clippers have a ton of depth on that team. They might not be producing now, but they have a ton of depth. They have the better top-end talent. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard is better than the duo of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. But it feels like the one thing the Nuggets have over the Clippers, when things aren't going well, the Nuggets can come back and they can play well. It feels like the Clippers struggle in that category.
Well, listen, Joker and Jamal have been fantastic. You know, Jamal had a couple rough games, but Joker's been great. I mean, last year when I was putting him in the MVP conversation, he's been great. But I have no idea what happened to Harrell and Lou Williams. You know, when people were picking them to get to the finals and beat the Lakers, everybody thought that was really the wild card because the Lakers don't have anybody coming off their bench like Harrell and Lou Williams. But, they have, like, Harrell's had a couple good moments, but he hasn't played like the guy he played all season. But, all that stuff about load management, not playing together, playing when you want to, that's why they're so inconsistent. Like, playing sports is hard. But if you load manage, which they did all year with Kawhi, and then, because you can't, get in any rhythm because teams the Clippers are not going to play tonight. They're going to sit Kawhi. So, listen, but I don't want to take anything away from what the Nuggets have done. Great comeback against the Jazz. And listen, I think you got to go back to Game 5 and give all the credit to Paul Millsap because, they were dead in the water. I mean, they were dead, and he went crazy. Mars is out there trying to beat up people instead of play basketball, and he got Millsap going. If you remember, Millsap didn't get going to after that dust up with Morris.
Yep.
And then he goes crazy in the third quarter, and the rest is history so far.
Yeah, and Charles, this young Nuggets team is looking for things to glom onto. And watching the old man get PO'd, they're like, yeah, let's go. And so they propel themselves to a win. Then they come back from 19 down in Game 6, and Joker goes crazy, and they blow their doors off in the fourth quarter. As we get ready for this Game 7, and I'm being dead serious, I think the Clippers are questioning what the heck they're doing and why the heck they find themselves in this Game 7 situation. As you look ahead right now, can you predict what's going through the Clippers' heads? Because the Nuggets right now, they want it, and they're playing with house money.
Yeah, this is a pick'em game. This is a pick'em game. One of my friends said something to me, and I don't like saying it because, he says, other than Kawhi, there's nobody on that team had no big moments. And I started thinking about that. And this guy played in the NBA, and he's a big-time NBA person. He says, Chuck, you need to be careful talking about the Clippers. I'm like, what you talking about, dude? He says, name me somebody on that team other than Kawhi Leonard you trust. And I said, that's a very good point. And it's true. So, man, I tell you what, Game 7s are the best thing in the world. You have everybody scared to death out there. So, like I say, Kawhi's the only made man going to be playing in the game tonight. He's the only one who's made. So the rest of those guys, they're nervous. We had Jason Tatum on after Game 7 against forget who they played. He said, man, I couldn't sleep. I kept trying to sleep. And it was just a waste of time. Because when you got a Game 7, man, you're just nervous. So I know it's been a long 48 hours for both of those teams. But like I say, I got no idea what's going to happen tonight. I can't wait to watch because, you see guys make their careers by having a career night. But, man, it's been Coach Malone has done a fabulous job. Man, that Joker, if you don't like Joker, you don't like basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just don't like basketball if you don't like the Joker. He's got some flaws, but, man, he's a baller. He is a serious baller. I hear guys being criticized his defense on the games and things like that. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was a great defender. But, listen, if you don't like watching him play, you just don't. I mean, some of the passes he made a couple no-look passes. He made a no-look pass the other night that was a turnover, but it was so damn pretty. The guy didn't even notice he was passing him the ball. That was what's so sweet about it. He gets a rebound, and he flips it behind his back. And the guy's like, is he throwing that to me? And one of the Clippers guys stole it. But the guy on the Nuggets didn't even realize he was passing him the ball. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, that was Jeremy Grant. Chuck, you mentioned Joker and the respect factor. I remember watching Draymond Green on your show just pick him apart defensively. And I get it. Defensively, he's not all there. But every player has got a flaw. Draymond Green, I could do the same thing offensively with him. Why don't people respect the big picture of Nikola Jokic? And part of that picture, as you just mentioned, the clutch factor. Is there anyone more clutch, especially in Game 7s, than Nikola Jokic? You should see his numbers in Game 7s, Chuck. They're through the roof.
Well, the problem is how far have you guys advanced? I mean, first of all, we don't show – I mean, it is what it is. It's not like I make out the schedule. We don't show a lot of Nuggets games.
Mm-hmm.
So, they need – if they advance tonight, I think he'll start getting more credit. But it's all about how far you go in the playoffs. And, you lost Game 7 at home last year, which you can't lose a Game 7 at home. But tonight, if they win tonight, I think he'll, especially after Game 6, I mean, I had to go back and look at some of those highlights because, listen, Vic, you know me. I'm a gambling degenerate. There was no way in the hell I was going to be watching basketball when football was on. So I had to go back and look and see how awesome he was because, man, I'm so glad to have football back. Because I don't, normally I don't leave my house on Saturday and Sunday. I just spend all day on the phone with my bookie betting on football. So I had to go. I said TNT, hey, y'all better send me some tapes on this game because I haven't watched a second of it. You know, I said because I wasn't really concerned because we knew that ESPN had Game 7, so I didn't have to go on TV and talk about it, so I wasn't worried about it. So I was like, let me go see how great Denver played because when I first saw the score, I think the Clippers were killing them. And then the next thing I know, I was on the phone with my bookie. He's like, man, how about Game 7? I'm like, what you talking about? He says, Denver came back and won that game. I said, you're kidding me. And I says, yo, man, what's the line on the Cowboys game?
Hey, let me tell you something, though. I watch football and basketball on Sunday morning, and we get in here Monday, and Vic's all over me. He's like, why aren't you focused on the Nuggets? I said, well, I can do both, and I gotta get my football in, too. I'm the same way.
Man, listen, college football and pro football, that's my gambling vices. I love it. It's going to be, it's crazy, though, because I'm trying to figure out how to bet because we haven't seen in the preseason games.
Yeah.
And what scares me to death is no damn home field advantage.
Bet the under, Chuck. Bet the under. You would have won a ton of money by now.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer on the over-under. I mean, because, there's nothing worse than betting the under and some team scores a late touchdown when they down 35 to 17 and to just screw up the over-under. But let me tell you something. Man, it's so interesting watching sports. And football, I think, is going to be the number one thing because I admire football players because they have to be crazy to play it. But I think it's going to be fascinating watching how they play without the fans. I mean, because, man, they have so much energy and anger and emotion when you play football. So it was hard. It was really hard betting Sunday because I'm like, man, the crowd ain't there to go wow. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting and fun trying to bet all year.
Last one, Chuck, because Michael Malone has actually used you as motivation in this series. He has said, hey, now everybody's counted us out. Chuck even made his guarantees. So we need, on behalf of all Nuggets fans, we need a Charles Barkley Clippers victory guarantee just to help the cause tonight.
Hey, let me tell you
we
something.
Get one.
I really like Mike Malone. I had never really known him, but 2 years ago, he came in the studio, and he was awesome to be around. Because, we don't ever go to games and spend time with these coaches. So I went there and spent some time. He came in the studio, and we sit around. And watch different things and watch different games, and he was awesome. So listen, man, I never care who wins. I don't make no more money or anything who wins. Clearly, I think that the network want the Lakers to win. Listen, let's be honest. Clearly, the Lakers want the Nuggets to win. Because it's a much better matchup for them if they play the Nuggets. That's what's going to be fascinating about this game tonight. I was watching TV this morning, and somebody said, who would the Lakers rather play? And it's like, of course, they'd rather play the Nuggets. The only person who want the Nuggets, want the Clippers to win is Markieff Morris' brother. So he can play against his brother.
Yeah, that's it.
But listen, man, it's I don't care who wins. I think it's going to be I love Game 7s. I think it's been great for the league to get a chance to see Jamal and obviously the Joker. Because, like I say, we don't get to see those guys that much. I think it has a lot to do with the time zone, to be honest with you. Because, we do one East Coast game, one West Coast game. And because y'all in that mountain time zone, it's just awkward. We very seldom show mountain time zone games because we have to do a East Coast, West Coast game. But, man, you guys have had a great season, and good luck tonight. And listen,
who wins? Who wins, Chuck? Give me who's going to win?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Nuggets because of experience.
Damn it.
No. Listen. Hey, listen, first of all, you should feel pretty damn good that I'm picking the Clippers.
You did pick them against Utah. You did.
as soon as we done with this interview, y'all should all call your bookie. Chuck picked the Clippers. On the Nuggets.
Chuck,
you're the man.
We appreciate your time as always. It's always great to talk to you. I got to be honest with you. Here in Denver, with getting blown out against Utah, but coming back from 3-1 down, and they're on the verge of doing it again. First team ever to come back from 2-3-1 downs. Chuck, we've had our pain here over the years.
Hey, let me tell you something. You really pissed me off in the first round because I picked you guys in the first round, and when y'all were down 3-1, I'm like, damn, I'm wrong again. And then y'all pulled 3 in a row out, and it was awesome. And I thought, like I said, first of all, y'all were dead in the water to my man Paul Millsap, actually who's a homeboy of mine from Alabama. And I said, Paul Millsap made me look like a damn fool on TV tonight. And but man, hey, congrats to the Nuggets. Listen, it won't bother me a bit if y'all win tonight. I mean, I know everybody in the NBA want to see the Lakers against the Clippers. Sure. First of all, that's the one thing that sucks about being in a bubble, because we had planned. I had been planning for a year before the pandemic. Oh, we're going to get 2 weeks in L.A. for that's the only time we actually traveled for the conference finals. And we got the West this year, and I was like, yo, man, we're going to get 2 weeks in L.A. We can walk to the gym every day. I'm going to get us on Bel Air every 2 or 3 days. I mean, I was so excited to be in L.A. So, hey, so I'm stuck in the bubble in Atlanta, so it don't matter. But good luck to the Nuggets tonight.
All right,
buddy,
Charles,
appreciate
so
the time, man. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime, guys. Y'all take care of yourself. And everybody out there, be safe and wear a mask.